So I rewatched the 2001 Justice League cartoon, and this show really only gets better with time. It's like watching the first Avengers movie. There's nothing quite like the original diverse cast of heroes coming together to form one team. I'm obsessed with how well each character is written and plays off the strengths and weaknesses of the other characters. Everyone stays in character, even the villains. It's fun to watch episodes like Injustice for All because it's the natural flaws or strengths of the characters that progress the story. For example, Lex Luthor wants to take down the Justice League, but ultimately Lex is a good match for Superman and the other righteous heroes. But he underestimates the way that Batman and the Joker think. And that's just mentioning one episode. Honestly, the show feels more like a collection of short movies with loosely related circumstances. There's only a single episode that doesn't have a part 2 or 3 to go along with it, making each story at least 40 minutes long. I really respect this. They take the time to tell each story fully. Episodes often have multiple plot lines, and all of them are interesting and compelling. There may be some episodes that I like more than others, but there isn't a single bad episode in this entire show. I also want to note how intense this show is compared to the other DCAU shows that I've watched so far. Someone's nearly dying in this episode, then someone loses a hand in this one, or Lex Luthor has cancer in that one? Not to mention, the fate of the world is at stake a little more than anyone should be comfortable with. The rest of my notes are just random little moments that I really loved, so I'm just gonna list them really quick. The 3D intro looks awful, but I absolutely love it, and the music is amazing. Wonder Woman straight up slaps Jason Blood.
Yet you blindly ignored my warnings and doomed the world.
Enough!
Batman saving Superman even when Superman didn't want to be saved is awesome. Not to mention, I love the dynamic of Superman and Batman. They recognize how different they are from one another, but they still work together really well. Like, in this case, Batman was rational when Superman wasn't. In other situations, the roles are reversed.
I just flattened Wonder Woman. You really think you can beat me?
I'm not trying to beat you. I'm trying to stall you.
Stall me? For what?
My girl Mercy is back. I wish she would just dump Lex already. This show has some awesome Wonder Woman content. This is actually my favorite and first version of Wonder Woman. A Better World Part 1 and 2 might be the best episodes. I love when a show explores another reality in a meaningful and poetic way. You could write an essay on these 2 episodes.
I knew you'd come here, just like I know you're going to do that.
But my favorite episodes are Hereafter Part 1 and 2. We all know the live-action Justice League could use some work, but did you know that a cartoon from the early 2000s did the death of Superman in an emotional and convincing way? Yeah, well, these episodes are awesome. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, and if you have seen it, then you already know how good this is.
You showed me that justice doesn't always have to come from the darkness. I'll miss. What did you always call it, Clark? The never-ending battle?
So those are my favorite episodes, but my favorite scenes might just be when the Justice League is in hiding. This is the only time in the show, and honestly the only time I can think of, where the Justice League is working together as their alter egos. And now it's time for a scripture reference, the part of the video where I find something that was inspired by the Holy Scriptures. One of the villains we face is Darkseid, who rules on the planet Apocalypse. I want to talk about the word apocalypse specifically. Although the word didn't originate from the Christian Bible, there are still cultural assumptions that tie the word apocalypse and the scriptures together. For starters, the word apocalypse can simply mean a great disaster. But that's more so what the word has come to mean. Originally, the word was Greek and meant to reveal. So how does a word that means uncover or to reveal become a word of calamity? That's where the scriptures come in. In biblical canon, the last book is called Revelation. Originally titled the Greek word apocalypse, and later translated to Revelation, this book describes how God will destroy the earth to make room for the new heaven and new earth. Unfortunately for this current earth, the destruction is pretty serious and will totally wipe out the current order of things. I think it's safe to say that during this period, at the end of the world, it'll be hell on earth. So over time, this prophecy about the end of the world became tied to the word apocalypse, so much so that the fictional stories about fictional planets are named Apocalypse, and we naturally understand that this fictional world must be cursed and bad because of the connotations behind the word apocalypse. That was a giant run-on sentence, but we're going to leave it in anyway. If I had one critique of this show, it's the lack of alter egos. I understand that this show is just about the Justice League and therefore is more about their superhero egos, but I would have loved to see more Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, Wally West, and, the rest of the gang. In conclusion, the show is good. I love Batman's cape. Look how flowy and shiny it is.